Assalamualaikum to Miss Hayati. My name is Nur Fatina Biha binti Muhammad Razali. I am from class BA 2423C. My business is I'm selling stocking. I'm selling the quality stocking with variety of design and pattern for my customer. I operate my business in online and in the store. I decide to manufacture and also outsource my product. As you can see here from my assumption in unit price, the competitor price they put for their product is in RM 15 ringgit up to RM 35 ringgit. So I, as a newcomer in the business, I assume to put the unit price for my product in RM 25 ringgit. For the unit cost in best scenario and worst scenario, I assume in RM 4.5 ringgit. How I get 4.5 ringgit? I add all the variable costs, then I divide with the production volume. For the fixed cost, I only has to pay for the rent and internet access since I operate my business in the store and in online. So I assume my fixed cost that I need to pay in a month is RM 620 ringgit. The production volume that I want to produce is in 1500 unit, and out of this 1500 unit I decide to store the 200 units as my inventory level. Then it left 1300 units. Out of these 1300 units, I assume that I can sell 1000 units of my product for customer in a month. And for the worst scenario, I assume that I can sell 500 units of my product in a month. So in a month, we have 30 days. And my working number of days is also 30 days for my business. It is because I also operate my business in the online. Out of the 30 days of my working days, I assume that 25 days I will sold my product in the full retail price, which is in RM 25 ringgit. Meanwhile, the another 5 days I will sell my product at the discounted price. The discount rate for the clearance sale I assume in 50%. Meanwhile, the discount rate for the intermediate sale I assume in 20%. And the cost purchased from the supplier, which is outsourced, I assume in RM 6 ringgit. I am targeting 32,500 ringgit as my revenue in every month. Meanwhile, for the profit in best scenario, I assume I will get 25,000 in every month, and the profit for the worst scenario, I assume I will get 10,000 ringgit in every month. Next is the profit model for the best scenario. As you can see here, the revenue I get is RM 25,000, the variable cost is RM 6,750 ringgit, and the fixed cost is RM 620 ringgit. After I minus all these three costs, the profit I get is only RM 17,630 ringgit. It is not sufficient because my profit target is RM 25,000 and my revenue target is RM 32,500. So because of that, I need to change the data. I change the data with use two-way. First, one-way table, and second, two-way table. In one-way table, I change the price. The competitor set the price for their product in RM 15 ringgit up to RM 35 ringgit. So I change my price from RM 20 ringgit to RM 30 ringgit in order for me to get the higher revenue and profit. Unfortunately, none of the revenue and profit is above the target. So I proceed with the second way, which is two-way table. In two-way table, I do 3 tests to get the best and sufficient amount of profit. First, I change the price in RM 20 ringgit to RM 30 ringgit, and I change the quantity produced around 1,000, 1,100, 1,150, 1,200, 1,250, and lastly 1,300. But it is still not sufficient for me to get the profit of RM 25,000. so it is useless. Then I change the price from 20 ringgit up to 30 ringgit, and unit cost from 2 ringgit, 2.5 ringgit, 3 ringgit, 3.5 ringgit, 4 ringgit, and lastly 4.5 ringgit. So as you can see here, there is more than 25,000 ringgit of profit. Meaning that if I want to achieve more than RM 25,000 ringgit of the profit, the price I should put for my product in between RM 29 ringgit and RM 30 ringgit, and the unit cost I should put is RM 2.5 ringgit. But the price is too expensive and the unit cost is too low, so I test the demand and the unit cost. The demand that I change is 800 units, 900 units, 1000 units, 1100 units, 1200 units, and 1300 units. And the unit cost that I change is 2 ringgit, 2.5 ringgit, 3 ringgit, 3.5 ringgit, 4 ringgit, and 4.5 ringgit. As you can see here, it shows that there has more than 25,000 of profit. The unit cost is remaining the same, which is 4.5 ringgit, but I need to increase the demand from 1000 units up to 1300 units. Meaning that I need to do a lot of promotion because I need to target 1300 units of the stocking to be sold, or at least 1200 units. So my final decision is I agree with the last test, which is change the demand and the unit cost to find the right amount for me to get the profit more than RM 25,000. Next is for the profit model in the worst scenario. The demand for the worst scenario is only 500 units. As you can see here, the revenue I get is RM 12,500 ringgit. The variable cost is RM 6,750 ringgit, and the fixed cost is RM 620 ringgit. After I minus all these three costs, I only get the profit RM 5,130 ringgit. Next is for the profit model in the worst scenario. The demand for the worst scenario is only 500 units. As you can see here, the revenue I get is RM 12,500 ringgit. The variable cost is RM 6,750 ringgit, and the fixed cost is RM 620 ringgit. After I minus all these three costs, I only get the profit RM 5,130 ringgit. It is not sufficient for me because I target the profit in the worst scenario is RM 10,000 ringgit. So I need to change my data. I use two way, which is one way table. I change the price from 20 ringgit to 30 ringgit in order for me to get the higher revenue and profit. The profit value should be more than 10,000, but there is no. The revenue value should. The profit I want is more than 10,000 ringgit, but none of this data is more than 10,000 ringgit. Meaning that changing the price is a good way to achieve the higher profit, but it is not sufficient for me to achieve the higher profit. The profit I get is not sufficient because my target is RM 10,000. Because of that, I need to change the data. I use two way, first one way table and second two way table. In one way table, I change the price from RM 20 ringgit to RM 30 ringgit for me to get the revenue and profit as I target. But none of the data has the amount that I want. So I proceed with the second way, which is two-way table. In two-way table, I do the three tests. First, I test the price and the quantity produced. The price that I test from Rm 20 ringgit up to Rm 30 ringgit, and the quantity produced I test from 1000 unit up to 1300 unit. Unfortunately, none of the data has the amount as I target. Then I proceed with the second test, which is I change the price and the unit cost. The price that I change is Rm 20 ringgit to Rm 30 ringgit, and the unit cost I change from 2 ringgit to 4.5 ringgit. As you can see here, it shows that there is more than Rm 10,000 ringgit of profit that I want. The unit cost I need to reduce to 2.5 ringgit, and the price of the product I need to put between Rm 29 ringgit and 30 ringgit for me to get the profit more than Rm 10,000. And the last test is I do the test on demand of the product and the unit cost. I test the demand from 100 units to 600 units, and the unit cost from 2 ringgit up to 4.5 ringgit. And it shows that I need to put the unit cost in 2.5 ringgit, and the demand of the product is 6 ringgit in order for me to get the profit higher than Rm 10,000 ringgit. I need to do a lot of promotion activity for me to achieve the 600 units of demand of the stocking. Next is markdown pricing model. This model conduct to determine the best discount rate to be charged for my customer. I'm selling the product at Rm 25 ringgit, and I store up 200 units of my product per month as my inventory level. I sell my product at a full retail price, which 25 ringgit in 25 days, and another 5 days I'm sell the product at the selling season, which is discounted price. I assume my intermediate markdown in 20% and the clearance markdown in 50%. As you can see here, the discount sale I get in the negative amount, meaning that if I'm selling at 3 days discount based on the volume of inventory that I have versus the volume that I sell, which is 16.67 units per daily sale, then my discount revenue will be lower, meaning that I don't get any profit or revenue. It is so, meaning that the discount of 20% might not be good discount rate for me, because if I charge my price at 20%, I will get revenue in negative amount. But as you can see in the clearance sale, I put in 50% discount rate, which the price is Rm 12.50 ringgit. It is might be good for me because I'm getting the positive revenue in 2 days period. So after I add all these three revenue, which is retail revenue, discount revenue, and clearance revenue, the total revenue I get is only Rm 4,708.78 cents. Then I test which discount rate is right to be charged at the customer. So I use the scenario summary to know which discount is suitable for my business. My original discount rate is 20%, and original revenue is 4,708.78 ringgit. So I decide to increase the discount rate from 30% up to 60%. It is because I will get the higher revenue if I increase the discount rate. For the outsourcing decision model, I selling the stocking. I can produce it on my own, or I can hire the supplier to produce it for me. The total manufacturing cost is Rm 7,370 ringgit. How I get this cost? I add the fixed cost and the unit variable cost in the manufacturer in-house, then I multiple with the production volume. For the total purchase cost, I get Rm 9,000. How I get Rm 9,000? I multiple the production volume with the unit cost from supplier, which is RM 6 ringgit. Meaning that my business is better to produce the product on my own than take it from a supplier. So I can say the best decision for me is to manufacture on my own, because the manufacture cost is lower than purchase cost. So in conclusion, after do all the model, I can say that for demand, for the best scenario is 1000 unit, and the worst scenario is 500 units. But when I calculate with the model, I found that the best demand for the best scenario is 1300 units, and demand for the worst scenario is 600 units. I need to do a lot of promotion activity for me to get the higher demand from my customer. Then for the discount rate in the intermediate markdown, I assume that the discount rate is 20%, but after do all the calculation in the model, I found that the best discount rate for my customer is 30%. I will get a higher revenue if I charge 30% of discount. Like I said, the best decision for my business is to manufacture. But if anything happen in my business, I need to outsource, which is I will take the product from the supplier. And my assumption for the cost purchase from supplier is 6 ringgit. But the best cost purchase from supplier is actually in RM 5 ringgit. So what I can say is my assumption is not valid. I should revise the demand of my product, the discount rate in the intermediate sale, and the cost outsource for me to gain more profit and revenue in my business. I made the decision to revise based on the profit model in one-way table and two-way table. Other than that, it also based on the scenario summary from the markdown pricing.